Okay, so as most of you know, the C8 was finally revealed last night officially in California, and I thought it was a pretty cool unveiling. It had a really great intro with all the cars speeding in it, some video referencing back to fighter jets. So the intro was dope, but about the car, um, the car looks good overall. I would say I would rate it probably about a 8 out of 10. I think the guy Chaz Crum was very close with some of his renderings as to what the car would look like, and he gave a really accurate depiction of what it would look like. So we already kind of seen it, or had the idea of what it might look like. So yeah, I rated it an 8 out of 10. Not super impressed, but impressed enough to probably buy one or trade my car in. So the thing that I like, let me see. Well, let's just start off with talking about the car. The front end looks really sick. I like all the details in the front, the big scoops in the front, the pointed nose, the headlights. The front end looks really good. I'm really digging the front end. I think the front end is great. You know, I can only imagine what the front end of the ZL6 or whatever model, next model up comes out, Zora 01, whatever comes out in the next couple of years. I can only imagine what that front end is gonna look like. This front end is pretty sick. Really good job on the front end. Now the side profile, a lot of people weren't a fan, and they really didn't think that that side scoop would translate into the actual model, but it looks like that same side scoop is the one they had on the actual camo model, and it's gonna be here. It's here on the production version. So with that scoop going into the door, and you just kind of lift, press a button under the door to open the door. Scoop is built into the door, part of the scoop. I can't say I'm not a fan or a fan of it. I have to kind of see it in person to really gauge it myself. But in some angles, it just looks kind of funny. Other angles, it looks okay. So yeah, we'll see. And let me see the back of the car. So a lot of people were not too happy about the back of the car. Now, I'm not sold on the back of the car. Mainly with me, I have an issue with the tailpipe design. I think the tailpipe should accentuate more of the angular lines of the car. Like I would have designed a tailpipe that fit right in that little scoop that the quad exhaust come out of. Like that shape, the tailpipe should just fit perfectly with that shape, angular and cutting in. Of course, you probably be able to buy aftermarket exhaust tips to fix that. Other than that, I don't know. I think I just gotta see it in person. I'm not too crazy about the back, but it doesn't look terrible. Now, what I did like that I saw, actually, one thing that I wasn't expecting was the additional trunk space. Well, the additional trunk, actually having a trunk in the back, and then, you know, of course, with the engine being in the middle, you got the trunk space in the front where the hood would be on a normal car, where the engine would be on a normal car. So you do have a pretty decent amount of trunk space, and they show like a bunch of luggage that was actually customized that would fit. Other thing I like was the 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. That's faster than the C7 Z06 and only trailing the 01 with under 500 horsepower. So I thought that 0 to 60 time was pretty impressive. I guess that dual clutch transmission and gear ratios really is going to make a huge difference with acceleration. That's pretty fast. And speaking of under 500 horsepower, I was a little bit disappointed to hear that. I was expecting 430 horsepower as rumored, but I mean, it's 490. A little bit disappointed in the horsepower number. I definitely thought it was going to be over 500. And they did show 3 different seat selections you could get with it, which was pretty cool. And they seats all look amazing, all look cool. I don't think you could go wrong with any one of the seats you get. And also he mentioned, Taz mentioned that the car have a self-lifting kit where it can elevate over bumps, which is pretty cool. And it'll remember where the bumps are and it'll automatically adjust and lift. That's pretty dope. So the disappointments were actually the horsepower, and they showed the Z51 model. I was surprised for those brakes not to be slotted or drilled on a Z51. Usually, well, in the C7, the Z51 was, had a upgraded brake package as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we won't. And they didn't mention having a manual transmission, so I know a lot of people be disappointed about that. It may be in the next higher end version of the C8's coming out, who knows, but I didn't hear anything mentioned about it. But just final thoughts, yeah, it's, like I said, 8 out of 10. I'll definitely be getting one. I think it's a big enough upgrade that to make it's a big enough, it's impressive enough to make me want the car. And again, I'm not too well. I didn't mention this, but I'm not too thrilled about those rims. But you can always change that yourself. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think it's, for me, it's worth going to get one and getting rid of my C7.